everywhere, but also in our hearts. Eloheinu, that's our God. So we sing Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai, what do we know about God? We wonder so much, and we think, and we try to pay attention, and we try to learn, but it's really a mystery. But we say God is only one God. Nothing quite like God. Echad. Echad. So Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Okay, so we're going to sing it all together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 You guys really got that. That was great.
Does that say Shanae?
Where? It's close. It says Shaddai. And that is another name for God. That's also the name of God that's on a mezuzah. And that's what the shin is for. So I would like to invite, I'll take a chuppah poll, but I'd like each parent to take a, or Marion, perhaps you could bring up 3 talitot.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to invite each parent to stand with their child and wrap them in a big hug with the talit. And I'm going to get these buckets.
And you're over there. Let me hold this for you.
And I want everybody to have a booklet because there's a special prayer that we're going to, I love. Hugs are the best. They're just the best. Here, daddies get them too. Okay. Ooh, and I'm losing this.
Yes. I think we're right here. But I'm often lost.
So I'm going to invite all the grown-ups here to offer the prayer. I think it's run before. There we go. All adults, the prayer on page 3. Let's all read together. God, our creator and teacher, we are grateful for our many blessings, especially the privilege of parenthood. Bless our children who have come here with eager minds and open hearts. Strengthen them, protect them, and guide them in all their ways. This day we consecrate them to the study of Torah, so that its teachings will lead them to lives of goodness. And may our children continue to bring joy to our family, honor to the Jewish people, and blessing to all humankind. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, teacher of Torah to our people Israel. And I'm going to offer the words of this super, super ancient blessing. It comes from Torah. And it's the blessing that many people bless their children with every Friday night. So if you know it in Hebrew, say it along with me. If not, then I'm going to say the first line of Hebrew, and then you will repeat the first line of English, and then I'll do the second line of Hebrew, and so on, okay? And that's on page 4 at the very top, okay? Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and watch over you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's spirit be turned toward you and grant you peace. And for our daughters especially, we add the words, Yisimech Elohim Kisara Rivka Rachel Veleah. May God bless you as God blessed Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. More, Marin, were you going to sing this?
If you wish. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Shalom, shalom, ve'asem lecha shalom, shalom, ve'asem lecha shalom, 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 ve'asem lecha shalom, shalom, ve'asem lecha shalom.
O God, our Creator and our Teacher, bless these children who have come into your sanctuary with eager minds and warm hearts. This day, may they be consecrated to the study of Torah, to lives of loyalty to you, your Torah, and your mitzvot, and thus will they bring joy to all who love them and honor to the household of Israel. Strengthen them and guide them in all their ways. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Now we sing the Shehechianu for this moment, because it really is a beautiful moment. Because if you remember that story that I told you, this is really the moment that we keep our promise. We keep our promise to God by saying it's the children that are going to make sure the Torah stays safe. So we say, Baruch, blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign over all time and space, who has given us life, sustained us, and who brings us to this moment in time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch Lador vador, from generation to generation. Or Marion, would you like me to hold that so you can sing this? Either way, it's fine. We're sharing the music.
No, why don't you sing to the children?
And we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Try this part. The door the door we protect this chain from generation to generation. The door, these lips we praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed, we are holy, we are children of your way. vador nagid galecha. Lador vador we protect this chain. From generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips we praise your name.
We're going to go sit down in just a second. It's about time to do that. But we have one last thing we want to do.
So we're going to announce all of the children who have started religious school this year, and we have certificates for everybody, but we're especially proud and really so happy that you guys are here to celebrate this moment. So you get to take yours home tonight.
Jack Newman and Leora Vayner. Make sure I didn't give you two. Jonah Link and Nathaniel Goldberg. I gave you two. Elliot Decker and Samuel Decker.
If anybody's hearing your name and you're coming late, come up and get your certificate.
Samantha Blumfield. You'll get me straight. Ariana Myrtlestein. Oh my goodness, these are sticking together and I can't do the usual way of taking them apart. Help me out here. Derek Berger
Ty Cooper.
and Griffin Baumwell. Gabrielle Lieberman. Eliana Vos. We're getting to your class, Mimi. Ellie Medalitza. Emma Linder. And Marion Mimi Kushner. Where'd she go? There she is. And Nolan Goldberg. We have a hefty group of 17 consecration children this year.
So thank you. You guys can go back to your seats, and we're going to start our Hanukkah celebration.
Mazal Tov.
Yeah, you'll put this back on when you become bat
Right
mitzvah.
back where the other Tali Tod are. Thank you. Thank you.
It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are. If you don't have one of these, pull one off from the edge of your row.
I'm not
Shalom, shalom,
Gently,
shalom, shalom. Thank you. Thank you.
Shalom, shalom.
Why don't you make sure everybody has one of
Shalom, shalom.
these? It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Oh, this place is filling up nicely. So, I would like everybody right now to do two things. One, if you don't already, make sure that you have one of these. We made 50, so I know we're going to be fine. So, if you don't have one, raise your hand, and if you see somebody with a hand up, please pass them one. And the other is if you brought a Chanukiah,
because I do have
we
more.
want to light this room up with all the light that we can give. So please go ahead and set your Chanukiah up right here.
And if you don't have one of these, there's more of them up here.
Great.
So just, you can grab one, or I'll get it to you in a minute.
Chris has got his. We're going to set them all up right here.
I'm going to take
Yes, put your candles in too. Excellent. Where's Erwin? Erwin, can you tell us the story of this Chanukiah? Yes. While we're setting up our own Chanukiot with candles,
We're not using that.
I'd like to
The regular.
I'd like to
Shabbat books,
introduce
eventually.
Erwin Rosen. Wave, Erwin. Okay, so Erwin was president of Temple Beth-El for like 18 years, right? Was it 18 years? 19. But in addition to being president of Temple Beth-El for 19 years, Erwin also went to Hebrew school here.
Yes.
Yes. So if there's a story about Temple Beth-El, Erwin knows the story. So I'm going to give Erwin the microphone, and I'm going to ask him if he will tell us the story of this stunning Chanukia.
Thank you, Rabbi, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah. Well, this beautiful work of art, and this truly is a work of art, was donated to what was then the Jewish Community Center of Jersey City, located on Bergen Avenue and Belmont Avenue, where PS 17 now sits. And this was created by the Hirsch family, and it was dedicated in memory of their parents, probably 75, 85 years ago or more.
Wow.
And it sat in the lobby of the Jewish Community Center very proudly for many, many decades. And then when that building was closed, it was donated to the temple. And we probably have it 25 or 30 years or more. So it really is a beautiful work of art that speaks for itself.
Now, do you know anything about the Hirsch family or the Hirsch brothers?
Well, they were in the business. They were in the metal business of some sort.
Oh, so they commissioned this and
Right,
did it themselves?
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Right, and I want to invite people during the course of this evening to come and take a look at some of the reliefs on here, because you'll see this is Aaron the priest, and he's wearing his Choshen Mishpat, which I have a jewelry version of here. We still wear those. And of course, this is Abraham, and he is in Mount Moriah with his son Isaac, and he sees the ram, and so he takes the ram instead of his son. And then look, here's Moses holding the 10 Commandments as he's standing on Mount Sinai. And here you'll see all of the names of the tribes of Israel. Those are the children of Israel, all here with their symbols. And I'll bet you if you looked even closer, you'd find even more. Now, who can tell me what's wrong with this Chanukia? Too many candles. Is that true? Too many candles? How many should we take off? 2. That's right. Anybody know which 2 we should take off? What do you think, Leora? Exactly. We take off 2 on the left. That's what Saturday and Sunday are for, aren't they? Exactly. So we're going to take those off. All right. So I want to invite everybody. This is the time that we all stand around and we bring light. Oh, can we set up these? Yeah, we want to bring in as much light as we can, so I want to bring everybody up. So we can light the candles together. I got matches. Oh, well, I got some. Okay. So I just would like to make sure that if any there children up here lighting candles, that there's a grown-up with them.
Some of them like to light but didn't bring a menorah. I brought 2.
Come. Hey, Sammy, bring yours up. Michael, Tyler? What? We'll make it work. I don't know, your bar mitzvah, can you do matches? I think so. Come on, you do one here. You got to do one on your bar mitzvah for sure. Excellent. All right. I'm going to have to light and pass. Okay. So, it's the 4th, 5th, 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth night of Hanukkah, so we do 2 blessings. And I'm going to light and pass, okay?
Thank you. I don't know if they need them over there. Thank you.
I got. Here you go. Here you go. Oh, you got matches? Everybody has matches? Light the shamash first. And we light from the left to the right. Wanna just make sure? Okay.
Ready?
Join along with me. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh ma'otzur Yeshuati lechana elishabeach tikon beit tefilati
Page 6.
lechana elishabeach beit achin matbeach mitzam nabeach az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach. Now the English. Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amid the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
What have you got there?
Did you bring the dreidels?
They're in the back.
I forgot the dreidels. Did anybody bring a dreidel?
Right after the service, if you want a dreidel, we have a whole bunch in the back. But what do we do with it?
I think.
Did we make it out of clay?
Did anybody make it out of clay?
I think so. I have a little dreidel, I
I'm just riffing.
made it
Yeah,
out
we're
of
just riffing.
clay. And when it's dry and ready, then
oh,
dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin. And when my dreidel's tired and drops in, then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 with legs so short and thin. And when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, so come now let's begin. Oi, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, come play. Now let's begin. In Hebrew,
Okay.
it's called the
So
Sivon.
who wants to get dizzy? Good. Leora, up. You know what it means to sov, sov, sov? Show us what it means to sov, sov, sov. Sevivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am, Sevivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, sov,
Chanukah hu
sov,
chag tov.
Sevivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, nes gadol haya sham, chag simcha hu la'am. Next one.
So many different words to these songs. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll all have a treat. Sivivon to play with and donuts to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning bright. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. I wonder how it would look if we turned the lights off for a minute.
Ooh.
Are we allowed to do that?
Yes, I love that idea. Let's do that. Okay. More Marion, you lead us in this song and I'll turn off the lights.
Light one candle for the Maccabee
thank you.
children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the lights go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the lights go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together with peace as the song in our heart.
All together.
Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Is this when we turn the lights on?
Good idea. Yeah, I love that.
Thank you, Tom.
ניסים ועל הבורקן
ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. Again. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן
הניצחון ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. בימים ההם בזמן הזה. בימים ההם בזמן הזה. Chag Sameach, everybody. Happy Hanukkah. I hope it is a beautiful Hanukkah. Nancy Samble, where are you? Nancy, do you want to tell us a little bit about the Krispy Kreme donut plan before we start the Kabbalat Shabbat service? Wait, let's get you a microphone.
And does everyone have the Siddur?
And does everybody know Nancy Samble? If you don't, you should.
If you don't have a Siddur, I volunteer some of our bar mitzvah students to grab some, but I think everybody has them.
Oh, Nancy, here. You deserve a
Come up and
microphone.
use the mic, please.
So, here, but before that, just show everybody your face for a quick second so everybody will recognize you when they see you in the street.
The white hair and the big smile, okay?
Good, okay. Oop, sorry. And 2 eyes.
So, this is our 3rd annual Krispy Kreme fundraiser. We couldn't do it last year because we couldn't be at the sanctuary to hand them out. And we did figure out a way to do the Purim bags. How many of you were members last year and got your Purim bags? Okay, and how many of you were so wonderful and stepped up and helped deliver the Purim bags? There was a lot of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll need you again this year. So Krispy Kreme does a thing where we get a dozen donuts or a bag of coffee at a better price, and the difference between the $15 that you pay for a box or the bag of coffee, the difference between that raises some money. So it looks like this year, now that we're done, we have, I think, about $533 net.
Nice job.
You know,
Thank you
900
all.
minus the cost.
Make some warmth and spread some love.
So, and the nice thing is it allows us to buy donuts at cost to celebrate for Hanukkah. So it's a win-win. And what happens is today I picked them up because I live near Krispy Kreme. I bagged them all, and so they are with gloves on, and I will be having my gloves on in the back when you're leaving to come and pick up your donuts.
So
Okay.
donuts for everybody on the way out.
All right?
And so if we ordered donuts for home, are they here now?
No, that's the Sunday.
Okay.
That's Meredith Goodman and Lara Eisen and their daughters.
Yay, Meredith
Their daughters
and
sold
Lara
30,
and Erica
30
and
things,
Jordan
30
and
items
Emily,
in the
yes.
classes that their school goes to. So that was really wonderful. That was their bat mitzvah project. And so we're just going to have to find some religious school families to take that on as a project next year and the year after and the year after, like to bring the order forms into your classes.
And even not wait till you're getting ready for bar
Oh, no, it
mitzvah.
could be
You do a
anybody who
mitzvah.
knows that your kid is in a class where they would love to buy a dozen donuts, and you pick up all
Who
your...
wouldn't want a dozen donuts?
Huh?
Who wouldn't want a dozen donuts?
My
Don't
hu-
answer that, all right.
My husband, who doesn't eat sugar, so all the donuts end up on my hips. But I get the coffee. It's very good. So I'll see you all in the back. I'll have my mask on, and I'll have my gloves on. And Chag Chanukah Sameach.
Hanukkah Sameach.
rabah,
Thank you,
Nancy.
Nancy. Yasher Koach. All right, are we ready for some Shabbos?
Yes.
Are we ready for some Shabbos?
Yes.
All right. So everybody has a Siddur then. Ben, can you launch us musically into the mood, please? Thank you. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, where is he?
Ben is right back there.
Okay,
And the other Ben.
we can't do this without you. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, Ben Gordon will be called to the bima as a bar mitzvah for the first time. And in honor of that, his family is here to offer the prayer and the readings, to usher in Shabbat here this afternoon, this evening, and Ben will lead us in Kiddush. So I'd like to invite the Gordon family up with your Siddurim. To the candles?
Will you light them? But not yet.
And Hannah,
Not yet.
you want to offer the reading on page 3? Either the top one or the bottom one, whichever one you prefer.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Beautiful. And would you light the candles? And should face everybody. Face this way. Face everybody. Face this way.
The humidity today. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlikna shel
And to bring in the sweetness of the day, invite our bar mitzvah, Ben Gordon, to lift up his Kiddush cup and offer us the Kiddush on page 5. Do you want me to hold that for you? You good? Okay. Amen. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Amen. I'll take your book so you can actually drink. Yasher koach, mazal tov. Beautiful job, beautiful job. You guys can go and sit down. So I know that there are people in this room that are new, or people that aren't new but are meeting new people. So it is always our custom to pause at this point in the service and make sure that everybody knows at least who you're sitting next to. So please go to somebody who you don't recognize or you've never seen before. Introduce themselves, introduce yourself, wish them Shabbat Shalom, wish them a happy Hanukkah, even if you think they know your name. Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Mark. It's so nice to meet you. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know it's been a really, really hard month. I'm glad you're here. Really glad you're here. Yes, and I guess Abby's home. Yes?
she'd love this. We'll bring her home a donut.
She would have loved this. I was debating with Amanda whether we should bring her. And the thought was that she would have last the whole service.
Well, that's true. That's why we did that at 6. And
Yeah.
sort of, you know, it's kind of, you know, did the 6:30 to 7. Do you ever want to disappear and take a donut on the way out? Not every year. So next year.
But absolutely, but she's been, this is Hanukkah, this has been her Hanukkah, I think, coming out party. She's told her classmates all about Hanukkah today. She's been loving the holiday.
That's great. Oh, great. It's so wonderful to see her, like, you know, make it her own and take pride in it. And
Have that level of consciousness. That's amazing. Amazing. It's really nice to meet you. Welcome. Don't be a stranger. Come, just come.
all the verses of Chadodi or just 1 and 9?
You mean all 7 of them?
No. You want to do 1, 2, 5, and 9, or you want to do 1 and 9?
We usually do 1, 2, 5, and 9. Is there a reason? Oh, okay, I guess it's fine. Cut it. Yeah, go ahead, cut it. Yeah. All right. I'm going to invite everybody to turn to page 20 as we greet the queen, we greet the bride, we greet that beauty with Lecha Dodi. Tonight we're only going to do verses 1 and 9, and we'll rise and face the back of the sanctuary for the last verse. Not quite yet. A little premature. Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Now we can rise, face the sanctuary, and imagine that majesty before us.
Shahamor b'zachor b'ribor echad,
Ishmianu el meyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'litila. All right, a little advanced. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Now it's the 9th.
Verse 9. Bohi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha v'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Bohi chala, lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please turn and face.
If you're able to remain standing, I invite you to do so and face the Ark for the Baruch Hu, page 28.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'el. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'el. Lai, 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 lai.
page 30 is the Mariv Aravim prayer. Basically asks for shalom as we sleep, that God watches over us while we dream and restores back to us our soul when we awake, refreshed. And we thank God for the seasons, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all those things that we can count on and we often take for granted, the light of the evening. So I'd like everybody to put your finger on that bet. I know most of you know what the bet is. We're using the regular Siddur. Right. Yes. Everybody have a Siddur, page 30?
Top of the page.
Yeah. And we're going to read the first line in Hebrew together, and then we're going to read the English together. So nice and slowly, do your best. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hakochavim b'mishmorotehem berakia kirtsono. Now in English together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
El Chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. We turn to page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kivot Malchuto Le'olam
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele.
Page 36.
Asher
Anochi mitzavecha
hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochvecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, ubisharecha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelechem. Ani Adonai Elechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Emet.
Let's read together the English on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work.
Whether you're tired or rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Emet ve'umunah, all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. And we accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously, as we do now on page 40. Mi chamocha. They dance to this on the shores of the sea, so we can too.
Mihi kamocha bailim Adonai, mihi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat hilot osefele, norat hilot osefele, v'malechutecha rahu banecha, okei ayam lifnei Moshe. Zeli zeli anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov galom echad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai gal Yisrael. Page 43. Hashkivenu. Takasin.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us.
Top of 43.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let there be friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Just everybody in English, just voices.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Oh, let's breathe that in. I invite us all to rise for the Amidah, our most intimate conversation with our Creator. We first ask for our lips to be opened so that the words might flow on page 46.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rab Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Marid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Menit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman atah leHachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaMetim.
52.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
I invite you to continue to finish your Amidah prayer privately. The text is between 54 and 60, or the text of your heart. Please be seated when you say what you've had to say. ליבנו לגבתך באמת, ליבנו אדוני אלוהינו. ברוך אתה.
Shalom Rab, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
Page 60.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
May we all know peace, shalom, that most beautiful and sometimes elusive element in the world that we all seek. Whenever we gather, we never miss an opportunity to pray for healing. Too many in our world are hurting, and we pray for them, whether it is the healing of body, of spirit, of psyche, of relationship, of self. So I'm going to invite us to turn to page 253 for the Mishaberach L'Cholim, and as is our custom between the stanzas, we'll call out the names of the people in our community who we know, but you're invited, please, to call out the names of those you're thinking of and holding in your hearts. Send those names out. Let them reverberate. Let healing come.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
This week we're especially praying for Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gloria Berkowitz, Gittel Batchana, Bernice Portney, Beryl Ben Sima Vishmuel Leib, Steve Gellis, Shalom Avram Ben Golda Yeshayahu, Myrtle Cupid, Michael Rosenblum, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Batsara V'Yitzchak, Chechazan Yaakov Sender Ben Harav Moshe HaKohen V'Rachel, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudito Michael, Tovia Ben Bela, Dwayne Charleston, Richard Foran, Dora Monserrat, Jeff Galvani, Dr. Isoken Osamwota, Esther Bat Malka Bat Yaakov Chaya Rachel, Ellen Gordon, Emma Linder, Alan Mentha, Christina Gabriel, and to these names we add healing and wholeness soon, speedily, uneventfully. Let us say amen. So Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah. So first Friday, here we are. This is a good one, right? First Friday, consecration, Hanukkah, it's a big one. So those of you who are familiar with our community know that First Friday is family service. So instead of a sermon, I tell a story. And this is a story of Hanukkah. A little old, a little new. The story of Hanukkah is a story about standing up for what you believe in. And so tonight I'm going to tell you the story of how in 3 different places people stood up for what they believed in when everyone else around them was doing something that they knew was wrong. I'm going to need your help because at different points in the story, I'm going to need you to play the part of the townspeople in 3 different towns. And when I tell you to, I want you to stand up and shout, "No, no, no, not in our town." Can we try that? Stand up. No, 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 not in our town. Okay, and I want this with feeling, right? Like a little bit of NIMBY in here, maybe. Okay. All right. So the first story, maybe it's one that we know. It's the story of the very first Hanukkah. A long, long time ago, in the town of Modi'in, in the land of Israel, there was a new leader in charge. His name was Antiochus. And Antiochus decided that everyone there had to be the same religion and bow down before the same gods. And one of those gods was him. So he decided to put statues of himself all over Modi'in and even in the holy temple of Jerusalem of the Israelites. And he forced the Jewish people to say things that they didn't want to say, eat things that they didn't want to eat, do things they didn't want to do, including bowing down before those statues of Antiochus. But then, one brave old man named Matthias, said,
No, 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 not in my town.
No, 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 not in my town. People should be able to worship wherever they want, however they want, and no one should try to take over another person's temple and tell them how to worship. And so Mattatyahu and his 5 sons, one of which was Judah Maccabee, went to war against Antiochus and his army. And they fought long battles to get their temple back and worship the way they wanted to. And when they did, they rededicated the temple, kindled those miraculous lights, and celebrated a festival that we now call Hanukkah. But sadly, in later generations, people came to power who thought they had the right to tell people what to do and what they should believe. Which brings us to a story that happened about 80 years ago. Actually made me think about that when Erwin was telling the story, right around the time that Hanukkah would have been made, about 80 years ago. But this story takes place in a town called Copenhagen. Anybody hear of Copenhagen? I think it's the capital of Denmark in Europe. And there, this is a real story, lived a king who was not Jewish. As a matter of fact, his name was King Christian. His people loved him, and he loved them, no matter what religion they followed. And there were a lot of Jews. There were a lot of Jewish people that lived in Denmark and in Copenhagen. But by then, his country had been taken over by the Nazis, and they hated the Jews. There was a legend that the Nazis demanded that all the Jewish people in Denmark should wear a big yellow star, and this is true, to show that they were Jews so the Germans could treat them badly or send them out of town, or worse. But King Christian said, again, People shouldn't be treated differently because of their race or their religion. And the legend, the other part was true. The legend goes that the next morning, that when King Christian got dressed, he himself put on the yellow star. And so did many people of Denmark, spoiling the Germans' plan to know who was Jewish and who was not. Now, we don't know if that particular part of the legend is true, but what we do know is that the people of Denmark actually did what was even more incredible. What they did was even more incredible. When they learned that the Nazis were coming around and taking up all of the Jewish people, they said, and they found places for all of their Jewish neighbors to hide in their own homes, even though this was of great risk to them. They hid them until they were able to smuggle them over to Sweden in the bottom of fishermen's boats. Just a dozen or so at a time. That's a lot of trips. And they rescued nearly all of the 8,000 Jewish people who lived in Denmark. And even when they learned that some of the Jews had been taken away, Danish officials continued to ask after their welfare, ensuring that almost all of the Jews of Denmark actually survived the war. Now, not all heroes or kings or priests, which brings us to our final Hanukkah story, also a true story, and this one took place only 25 years ago in a town called Billings, Montana. Anybody ever been to Billings, Montana? All right. Yes, all right. A couple people. And a little boy there named Isaac had made this beautiful construction paper Chanukia and hung it in his bedroom window. But no sooner had the night fallen, that Hanukkah night, than some people who didn't like the Jewish people came through the neighborhood, and when they saw the paper Chanukia, they became angry and they threw a rock. Can you imagine that? A rock through Isaac's window. Now, thank goodness Isaac wasn't hurt, but he was very sad. And his parents called the police, and the police told them to take down their Chanukia and their Hanukkah decorations just to be safe. But they said, no, not in our town. No one should make our children afraid to be proud of who they are. And they called the newspaper, and they let all their neighbors know what had happened. And the next day, one of Isaac's neighbors, a little boy who was not Jewish, he brought over a brand new Hanukkah decoration that he had made himself. And one by one, the neighbors, they all started putting Hanukkah decorations in their own windows, whether they were Jewish or not. Even the Methodist church in the town put up a Chanukia. All in all, over 10,000 Chanukias were put up in Billings, Montana, hung by Christians, Jews, Native Americans. Sadly, it wasn't the end of broken windows, but all of the Jewish people knew that they had a lot of friends. It was their way of saying, so whenever you hurt one family here, you hurt all of us. And we're not going to let you make us afraid to be who we are and who we're proud to be. Because you see, the story of Hanukkah isn't something that happened just once. It's a story that happens again and again, when in every generation we have a need to stand up for something we believe in and stand in solidarity with our neighbors and say, and so, the next time you see someone making other people do things that they don't want to do, or treating people differently because of what they look like or who they love or what they believe in, what's your answer going to be? No, not in our town. So thank you for letting me tell that story. And I'm wondering if any of you, raise your hand, if any of you go to school where other people in your class help you make Hanukkah decorations. Has anybody made Hanukkah decorations in their school? I see Tamar does, Ruthie does, yeah. And have you ever helped somebody else? Yeah? Mimi, you too? Good for you. And help other people celebrate their holidays as well? Yeah, we can do that. So thank you for helping me to tell that story. Hanukkah is a holiday that lasts 8 days long. We know that, but what you might not know is that smack dab in the middle of Hanukkah, there's a whole other holiday. And that holiday is called Rosh Chodesh. It's the beginning of month of Tevet. And so we're going to offer a little prayer on page 261, which asks us for blessings for the month of Tevet. May it be your will, our God, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, to renew our lives in the coming month. Grant us a long life, a peaceful life with goodness and blessing, sustenance and physical vitality, a life informed by purity and piety, a life free from shame and reproach, a life of abundance and honor, a life embracing justice and love of Torah, a life in which our heart's desire for goodness will be fulfilled. And we say, Amen. The new month of Tevet begins today. Rosh Chodesh Tevet, Yeh Bayom Hayom, Hayom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Letova. Yehadeshehu HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Aleinu ve'al Kol Amo Beit Yisrael, L'chayim u'shalom. That's for life and for peace. Give me an amen. For life and for peace. L'sason u'lesimcha. For joy and for gladness. Give me an amen.
Amen.
L'parnasa tova u'livracha. For the ability to earn a good living and for blessing. Amen.
Amen.
L'yeshua u'lenechama. For salvation and for comforting. Give me an amen. V'nomar Amen. Going to close out our service with a little call and response of Aleinu. So the words are on page 284, but you don't really need them. Just repeat after me. Ready? With a little gusto, right? With the kind of gusto is no, not in our town. All right? You ready? V'hashevota el levavecha. Please rise. Ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim. Again, v'hashevota el levavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo to be seated and turn to page 294, in which we honor those who came before us, those who gave us life, those who loved us, those who walked with us, and who have now gone from our world. We are in Shloshim for Florence Wellen, Judith Ballard-Fabian, Edith Danzig Grossman. Phil, are we still in Shloshim for your mom? Can you say her name out loud? Michelle Gary. Is there anybody else who has lost somebody in the past month? I invite you to please rise. Then also as a congregation, we are observing the yard sites. If I read the name of your loved one, I invite you to please rise. Susan Siegler Comstock, Florence Doddleson, Hyman Golan, my father-in-law Abe Kushner, Sigmund Arthur Newman, Elliot Port, Michelle Raskin, John Edward Rottenberg, Barbara Schwartzbard, Abraham Wellen, Herbert Ziff. Is there anyone else here who is either in their year of mourning or observing a yard site? I invite you to rise. Could you share the name of the person you're honoring?
I feel we should say something for all the victims of the recent Michigan shooting.
Thank you. And if there is anyone here who would like to rise in honor of those of the Michigan shooting, or it is your custom to rise for the Mourners Kaddish, I invite you to do so now, or if it is your custom to remain standing, please do so as well, as we offer the Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Israel. Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudisha, brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Please be seated. And Tom, our president, Tom Rosensweet, official holy announcements. Joe, Mike. Okay, you're good.
Let's see, we do have a bar mitzvah tomorrow, do we not?
We do?
Yes.
Yes. Ben Gordon will be called to the Torah at 10:30 a.m. And so we hope you will all be there tomorrow. We also have a film festival going on, a Hanukkah film festival. And you can, even though it's been going on for a while, you can still sign up through tomorrow. And it's a small fundraiser for the temple, but you get 14 days to watch up 8 movies. 8 is Jewish movies online. You can get news about it at the temple website, betheljc.org, or through the weekly newsletter, the weekly email. Let's see, the PJ Library is sponsoring a community candle lighting over Zoom through Sunday, December 5th at 5:45 p.m. Additional details and the registration link are in the weekly email. On Sunday, December 5th, during religious school at 10:15 a.m., there will be a bar and bat mitzvah meeting for parents of children in grades 5 through 7 who have not yet begun bar mitzvah tutoring. I think there may be some here.
Yes.
This meeting will take place on Zoom, and the link can be found in the weekly email and the November newsletter. And also on Sunday, if you've ordered Krispy Kreme donuts, as Nancy said, pick them up Sunday from 12 to 1:30 p.m., right after religious school.
Oh, boy. Let's make it a little earlier, between 12 and 12:30.
Okay, yeah.
Or 11 and
okay.
12:30.
Don't forget, listen to the rabbi, don't listen to the president. We are calling all children from 0 years old up to 5 and their grown-ups to join us at Tat Shabbat, December 18th, 10:30 a.m. for singing, dancing, story time, and other age-appropriate activities. We'll be right here in the sanctuary and we'll follow state masking and distancing requirements. We have a lot of fundraisers going on here at the temple. Another one is our challah fundraiser. You can get a 17-week subscription for a challah every week. It's a triple mitzvah. Yes, it is. You can make your Shabbat more meaningful. You can support Temple Beth-El, and it's challah. And who doesn't like challah? So you can sign up. You can get the information on the weekly and on the temple website. Orders must be received by December 23rd. Let's see, a couple other things. We have, if maybe you saw a tent outside. The kiddush for after the bar mitzvah tomorrow will be held in the tent outside. It's not going to be held downstairs, and maybe you know why, and maybe you don't. It's because after Hurricane Ida, or during Hurricane Ida, our social hall downstairs in the basement was flooded, and it became full of mold, and it's being remediated right now as we speak, and we are welcoming donations to help pay for the restoration, the remediation and restoration of the social hall, and we're also going to be treating it so that it doesn't happen again. We have a couple volunteer opportunities. We have our services are being live streamed every week, and we could always use some more volunteers to learn how it's done and to help out and set it up before services. Finally, our food pantry meets on Wednesday nights from 5:30 till about 6:30. We pack and give out bags of food to our food insecure neighbors. You can get more information about it again from the temple website or from the weekly email, including information on how to volunteer to come and help out, and also how you can donate food and money, and if you're donating food, which items we really need for the food pantry. It's a great service that we provide for our neighbors who are in need. Rabbi?
We got a lot going
back
on.
to you, and I'd like to thank the rabbi for the beautiful service tonight, and Maura Marion for the music, and Ben, who sneaking around here somewhere. There
Ben
he
is back from Israel for good,
Ben-
right?
Yeah, for
Yay.
good.
Yay.
Yay.
Welcome home.
Welcome back.
Now a married
our
man.
accompanist, Ben Rauch, who was in Israel for how long? 11 months.
Yeah.
But he
you're
really
gone from,
missed
like,
Jersey
October.
City, I'll tell you.
I know. Can take Jersey City out of the boy, or the other way around. Anyway,
You just can't get donuts like we have here in Israel. can you?
So we're going to close out with our Hanukkah, O Hanukkah. Let's turn to page 365.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sivivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, a festival of joy, a holiday, a jolly day for every girl and boy. Spin the whirling dreidels all week long, with the sizzling latkes sing a happy song. Now light them tonight then, the flickering candles in a row. Flickering, retell the wondrous story of God's eternal glory, and dance by the candles cheering low. Who changed the words?
Remind us of days long ago.
Oh, goodness.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat shalom. And don't forget to take your donuts on the way home.
Don't forget to take your donuts on your way home. And thank you so much to Nancy Samble for getting it all
Just make that one.
organized.
Good, excellent, good job. Mazel tov. It's great to see you. Wonderful to meet you. Shabbat shalom. Chag sameach. Who didn't get challah? Me.
That was the most beautiful consecration service I could ever imagine. That was so special.
Oh, because it's yours, of course. You know that, right?
No, I mean real. For all time.
Good, good, good. If it gave you the warm and fuzzies, that's the whole idea.
Don't forget to take your Hanukkah back home.
Pleasure. Oh, I'm so glad. Good, then I'll see you tomorrow morning. Yes. Enjoy. Yes? Good?
I'm going to share with them.
Okay, good. Challah, challah, challah. Chris, you need challah. Is this Ollie? Charlie, you got big. All right, little big, little small. I'm well, I'm well. Keep thinking I'm going to run into you guys in the neighborhood. Soon enough. Shabbat shalom. Sammy, you need challah. Oh, take them both. Shabbat shalom. Vadim, have some challah. Shabbat shalom. Good.